Whether you're using CenterPoint Accounting, CenterPoint Accounting for Agriculture, CenterPoint Fund, or CenterPoint Payroll, it is installed with the capability of having database security, but that database security has not been enabled. This video will teach you how to enable database security. The series of database security videos will take you through setting up CenterPoint security at multiple levels. The first level of security is just having a database password. So initially when you install CenterPoint, you can open up the database and it doesn't ask you for a password. So some people are only looking for enabling a password on their database. That is what this video will teach you how to do. It'll teach you about enabling database security. Others want to have multiple users set up within that database so that they can at least track all of the transactions that that user has entered, edited, deleted. It keeps an audit trail of that information, including the time and date that they made those changes. Okay, other people would like to go even a level further, and that would be the third level here, and that would be to limit the functions of database users. Some database users, you may not want to have the ability to, say, edit or add transactions. Maybe you only want them to be able to come in and view reports. If you have a situation where there are certain users that you want to lock out of certain features of the program, then the third option is the option that you will need. However, if you need the third option, you actually need all three of them. So you actually would need all three of these different levels to get to that third level. So the videos will actually build upon each other. As you can see, I'm in the CenterPoint Accounting product, so just keep in mind that what I'm going to show you will be the same in any of the CenterPoint products. When you first open the program, it usually presents you with a screen like this, allowing you to choose which database you want to open. However, you may have set up a preference that set the system to always open a particular database. So maybe when you open your database or when you open your program, your database is automatically opened. I'm going to highlight the one I want to open and then just go ahead and click open. We'll be able to tell that it's open in the top left-hand corner of the screen here where it says CenterPoint Accounting. It says Business Sample. That means that it's open. Also, all of the icons became enabled. To get to the preference to turn on database security, you would go to File and to Preferences. As you noticed when I first came in, it didn't ask me for any user ID or password. So on the Preferences screen is a section called Security, and then there's only one option underneath it, and that's Database Security, so we'll go ahead and highlight it. On the right-hand side, there's only two tabs enabled. The Current Settings tab, which of course we don't set any settings on, it's just showing us what the system thinks is the setting being used right now. And then the Database tab. So the Database tab is where we're going to have to set up the security. So right now you can see that database security is not enabled. To enable it, we're just going to simply put a check mark in there. What that does is it activates the administrator user for this database. So now when you go ahead and you open up that database, it's going to ask you for a username. And at this point, the only username that we have is administrator. Okay, and that's defaulted into the system. It's part of the database as it's installed. Okay, however, that administrator doesn't have a password on it yet. That administrator user doesn't have a password. So we want to set up that administrator password by clicking on the Set Administrator Password box. The initial password is blank, so we're just going to tab past that. And then we want to put in what we want our password to be. One of the things we're going to be able to do is set up something called Password Security Options. which would allow you to set the number of characters that a password has to be. Or a minimum number of characters that a password has to be. It would allow you to tell the system that those passwords need to have one capital letter, one lowercase letter, numbers, maybe a special character, or any combination of those. So without the password security options, your passwords can be any number of characters. So I would recommend, if you are going to set up additional users, to also set up password security options. Setting up password security options will be part of the database users video. Okay, the password, like I said before, initially the old password is blank, and I'm going to go ahead and set up a new password. Now, if I'm planning on setting up those password security options, I should probably make sure that this password would meet those security options that I'm going to set. Okay, then it asked me to confirm it, so I've gone ahead and done that, and I go ahead and click OK. It doesn't give us any message at that point, but when we hit save, it'll give us a message saying that the updates are successful. However, you're not going to see it until you actually go to open up the database next time. So we're going to go ahead and close our database. I'm going to go to File and Close, and we're going to go ahead and open it again underneath File and Open. I'm going to highlight it and click open, and this time it does go ahead and prompt me for a username. Now the username was defaulted in there, so I don't have to type it in, but if yours is blank, you'll want to type in the word administrator all the way spelled out, not admin or anything like that, the whole word administrator. It does not matter whether it's in uppercase or lowercase. The case on the username is not important. However, the case on the password is. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the password that I had set there in preferences for the administrator and click OK. And now it does have my database open. So that's what is needed to go ahead and enable database security. Thank you.